Good morning, students. Now we'll start with the second part of femur. Okay. So in second part of the femur, we'll see various angle of the femur. So first angle is the neck shaft angle. So the neck of the femur, it makes with the angle of the shaft. Okay. So this neck of the femur and the shaft of the femur, it makes an angle. It is about 125 degree. It is lesser in female due to wider pelvis. Okay, so it is normally 125 degree. Okay, so one is a neck shaft angle. Then the trochanter and trochanteric shaft angle, so it is near about 8 degree. It is used in radiological studies to know the cavity of the medullary cavity direction. Okay, another is the angle of femoral torsion or angle of anteversion. So how is the angle is calculated by the transverse axis of upper end and the transverse axis of lower end. So the angle between these two is near about 15 degrees. So that is the angle of femoral torsion is there. In your book, again the Q angle is there. So due to the attachment of quadriceps muscle, it produces again obliquity. So due to this, that obliquity is called as a Q angle. So it is of 15 degree. Okay, so what are the one is angle? That is a neck shaft angle, trochanteric shaft angle, then angle of femoral torsion, okay, and Q angle. Okay. What is a calcar femoral? Calcar femoral, to give strength to the neck of the femur, there is the thickening of this part of the neck of femur, that is called as a calcar femoral. Okay. Now the blood supply of the neck of femur. So the blood supply of neck of femur, it is the intracapsular part is there. So anterior surface is supplied by the retinacular arteries arises from the trochanteric anastomosis, while the posterior surface that is the extracapsular part. So this is the extracapsular part is supplied by the ascending branches from the medial circumflex femoral artery. Okay, now we'll move towards the attachment on the femur. On the femur, this fovea gives attachment to the ligamentum teres. Then the whole anterior surface is covered under the it is intracapsular part, and only this medial part is intracapsular part. Okay. Then this apex of this greater trochanterus give insertion to the piriformis muscle. Then the anterior surface of greater trochanterus gives insertion to the gluteus minimus muscle. Then the oblique ridge on this lateral surface of greater trochanter give insertion to gluteus medius muscle. Okay, on the medial surface of greater trochanter. So this is the medial surface of greater trochanter. So this trochanteric fossa gives insertion to the obturator externus muscle, while above it gives insertion to the obturator internus with two superior inferior gemella muscle. Okay. This quadratus tubercle gives attachment to the quadratus femoris muscle. Okay. Then this lesser trochanter, this tip of the lesser trochanter gives insertion to psoas major muscle, and anterior surface gives insertion to the iliacus muscle, while posterior surface is covered with the bursa. Then this intertrochanteric line gives attachment to the capsule along with the upper part. Along with this upper part gives attachment to the upper band of iliofemoral ligament, while this lower part gives attachment to the lower band of iliofemoral ligament. Along with same that upper part gives origin to the vastus lateralis, while lower part gives origin to vastus medialis muscle. Okay. Then the upper 1/4 surface of femur gives origin to the vastus intermedius muscle, and below this there is origin of articularis genu muscle, while the lower 5 centimeter is covered with the bursa. So no muscular attachment is there. Suprapatellar bursa is there. Okay. Now coming to this gluteal tuberosity, this gluteal tuberosity, 1/4 fiber, that are the deeper fiber of gluteus maximus, inserted on the gluteal tuberosity. Okay. Then the origin of vastus medialis. So the vastus medialis origin from the lower part of intertrochanteric line, then the spiral line. Okay, then this is the spiral line. Okay, then the medial lip of linea aspera, then the medial supracondylar line, this is the vastus medialis muscle. Then vastus lateralis muscle from the upper part of the greater trochanter of femur, then anterior surface in the lateral surface of greater trochanter of femur, then the lateral lip of linea aspera. Okay, so this is the vastus lateralis muscle. Okay, vastus lateralis muscle. Then one line from the lesser trochanter up to here, it gives attachment to the insertion to the pectineus muscle, and behind there is adductor longus muscle. Okay, sorry, adductor brevis muscle. Okay, then below this adductor brevis muscle there is adductor longus muscle. So there is the adductor longus muscle. Okay, on gluteal tuberosity we have already seen that there is a gluteus maximus muscle insertion is there. Okay, then one is that this is pectineus, adductor brevis, adductor magnus muscle insertion. So adductor magnus muscle insertion is starting from the medial margin of gluteal tuberosity, then medial lip of linea aspera. Okay, medial lip of linea aspera, then medial supracondylar, then the medial supracondylar line up to the adductor tubercle. So this is the adductor magnus muscle. Below this there is origin of the short head of the biceps femoris muscle up to the lateral supracondylar line. Okay, sorry, this is lateral supracondylar line. Okay, so for better understanding I will show you on this diagram. Okay, so on this diagram you can see this origin of vastus medialis, again the starting from the lower part of the intertrochanteric line, then the spiral line, then medial lip of linea aspera and medial supracondylar line. Then this is the vastus lateralis, again from the upper part of the intertrochanteric line, then upper part of intertrochanteric line, then lateral lip of linea aspera. Okay, so in this you can see better way, that is, this is vastus lateralis, this is the short head of biceps femoris, this is the adductor magnus muscle, gluteal tuberosity, this is the adductor brevis, below adductor longus, then pectineus, and this is the vastus medialis muscle. Okay, so these are the attachment on the shaft. Okay, below this you can see there is the lateral head of gastrocnemius and popliteus, muscle. Now moving toward this lower end. So remember that both this epicondyle gives attachment to the medial epicondyle give attachment to tibial collateral ligament, where the lateral epicondyle gives attachment to the fibular collateral ligament. So this deeper anterior part of popliteal groove. So this is the deeper anterior part of popliteal groove. From here popliteus muscles origin it has a tendinous origin. So the tendon, it passes like this through this groove. Okay, so this is the popliteal groove. Okay, above this it gives attachment to this fibular collateral ligament, then the lateral head of gastrocnemius muscle. Same on this medial epicondyle gives attachment to the tibial collateral ligament. Okay, tibial collateral ligament. Okay, then this is the lower end. Okay, on the lower end, okay, so medial surface, okay, this is the medial surface of the lateral condyle attachment to the anterior cruciate ligament, and the lateral surface of anterior part of the medial condyle gives attachment to the posterior cruciate ligament. Okay, then on the anterior side, the capsule of the lower end is deficient. Along this remaining part, it is attached to the articular margin. Okay, and on the lateral side, on the condylar side, it is 1 centimeter above the condyles. So above the condyle, it is 1 centimeter above. Okay, 1 centimeter above. Okay, then through the intercondylar line. So this is the capsular attachment of the lower end of the femur. Again, you can see this is the nutrient foramen is there. The direction of neutral canal is towards the upper end. Okay, then we'll see ossification of the femur. Femur ossify from the 1 primary and 4 secondary center. Primary center is for 1, that is appear at the 7th month of intrauterine life. Okay, and secondary center started to appear for lower end at the 9th month of intrauterine life, then 1 year for head, 4 year for greater trochanter, and 12 year for the lesser trochanter. All this fuse together with the shaft at 18 years here, while lower end fuses with the shaft at the 20 years of age. So direction of nutrient foramen is towards upward side, so it is always opposite to the growing end. Now we'll see applied anatomy. In applied anatomy, the fracture, that what is a fracture? It is a break in the continuity of the fracture. Okay, so it is a break in the continuity. Okay, so neck fracture is very common in old age person. So if it is intracapsular, it may damage the blood supply of the neck, and it will lead to a vascular necrosis. It should be replaced with the prosthesis. Okay, then shaft of the femur is also very common fracture. Then this lower end of the femur is appear at the 9th month of intrauterine life. So it is used as to it has medical legal importance to know the viability of the fetus. Okay, if it is center is appear, then it suggested that it is the full term fetus. Okay, thank you.